Today's episode is sponsored by Raul Rodriguez Law.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back inside the Leija Lounge. Y'all know me. My name is James Leija II. You can catch me on socials at Rumbleboy. And last week I did a podcast Q&A about mental health illnesses. I was answering some of y'all's questions that y'all sent in to my socials. And we had such a great reaction to it that I decided to do a part 2. So that's what we're going to get to today with a little bit of a Halloween twist at the end. Some quick fire rapid questions that I'm going to be answering. So let's get into it. Question 1 for today that I really thought was a really great question. What's something boxing taught you that business couldn't? You know, boxing and business go hand in hand. I always say boxing is like life. You can tell a lot about a guy based off how he deals with boxing, right? How he handles himself inside the ring, inside the gym, disciplinary stuff. I think the biggest thing that boxing taught me that I wouldn't say business couldn't, but that boxing definitely did teach me was you got to be able to punch back. You know, that's the hardest thing to teach people when they come into the gym or when they spar, when they put themselves out there is not everything is going to go your way, right? You're going to get hit. You may go down, but can you punch back? Can you get back up and keep fighting? Not everything business-wise is going to go smooth, right? There's tons of obstacles that come in that, may delay you, but can you keep going? Can you keep fighting? Can you keep punching back? And I think that's one of those main things that I learned at a young age from boxing. Not that business couldn't teach me that, because it's teaching me that right now, but I really learned it in the boxing ring. I really learned that at the gym. The next question, you have 2 daughters. If they're watching your podcast right now, what do you want them to hear? What I want my daughters to hear is maybe the urgency in my voice, the drive that I might have in my heart and my mind and my soul. I want to believe that that comes across to you guys and, you know, over this medium, right? I hope it comes across to you guys, the drive that I have to succeed, right? Or to further our family's name, or to just live up to what I believe I can actually do in this world. It's not so much what I'm doing, it's not what I'm saying, but it's more how I'm doing it. If my kids are watching this, or, you know, anybody, not just them, I'm just limiting it to them, but if they're watching this, I want them to know that their father is trying to do something. We're trying to advance. We're trying to get further. We're trying to not settle, right? We're trying to not just be here, but be here, or at least try to keep growing. And I think that's just what life is all about, right? You don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to be in one spot. You want to keep going and testing yourself. And like I always say, if your dreams come true, keep dreaming, right? Let's not just get stuck where we are. And we're a very blessed family here in town to be able to have options to do what we want to do, to have things like this to fill our time. You know what I mean? This is such a blessing. So I hope that they feel that. I hope that they can hear the urgency in my voice and maybe adopt it as their own. Next business question, how do you handle business and a mental illness? And that's a great question because like I've said before, I think if I have a good handle of myself, I can have a good handle of anything else, right? Like the hardest thing to be in this world is yourself, or to figure out who you are, right? From there, you can do anything. But if you ignore who you are, if you ignore, you know, figuring out those layers that you have underneath, and if you ignore all the problems that you may have inside, they're going to come out somewhere. It's going to be harder for you to pile more responsibilities on your plate. Comes to business, family, anything, right? If you're struggling inside and you don't have a good foundation of yourself, how good is anything else that you're putting on top of that? But for me, I've always had a point of, I'm going to figure out who I am. I'm going to know who I am, how I would react in certain situations, so that I can take on these certain roles, business-wise or even family-wise, right? How good could I be for somebody else if I'm not good? And this is the whole mental health thing, right? We want to be good for ourselves, but first, right? But we want to be good for other people. And we can't be good for other people, our business, our family, if we're not good. So for me, I think, you know, it goes hand in hand. If I'm ignoring my mental illness, or if I'm ignoring my mental health, I'm really not thinking about my business. I'm really not thinking about my family then. Because how good could they be if I'm not? Next question is more of a comment, but sort of a question. They were asking me, you talk a lot about using your manic phase in your art or in your business. the question that came to me was, would you trade your creativity during your manic phase for peace? That's a weird question because I myself love the feeling of being manic. It's like a drug, right? I would assume a lot of people who are bipolar, or maybe who go through drastic ups and downs, can't find anything else to replace that manic phase. You're superhuman for as long as that lasts, you know? And you have a hard crash, of course, like anything else, but that phase, I really feel like I get some of my best work done. Again, there was a point when that was happening where I was really going off the rails, where I didn't have any direction to how to focus that energy. So it just came out in a lot of different ways. And I think right now, being 34, being in charge of a lot of things, I feel like it gives me a direction. Energy is purposeless if it doesn't have a direction. So I really feel like right now, I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't trade it, because I do find peace in those little manic phases because I'm using them for the right reasons. There's a lot of people that are manic that will go and gamble away thousands of dollars, cheat on their wife, not even gamble, but spend money recklessly, right? And all of that. And that direction is just unfocused. It's almost like a dog who's chasing a car who doesn't know what would happen if he caught it. I have a lot of plans, and I have a lot of dedication. I have a lot of direction that I have either adopted or been given. So it helps a lot in that manic phase because I'm aware of, again, I'm very self-aware. I know and recognize that energy that I have, and I'm going to use it in the right ways. It's kind of a weird question, but I wouldn't trade it because I feel like I use it the right way, and it does bring me peace at the same time. I had a person who is also dealing with bipolar disorder reach out to me, and she said, do you think people like us are meant to live normal lives at any point? This is one of those questions where it's very self-reflective, right? There is no such thing as a normal life. Everyone's life is their life. There is no normal. There is no middle ground. At least that's how I interpret it. There is no normal. There is no regular. Everyone is either here or here or here or here, and everyone's life has a lot of different variables in it. So this is normal life to me. It's normal to me. That's all I know, right? I think I was meant to live this life. I was meant to do all this stuff that I'm doing right now. I was meant to be here talking to you guys, trying to help somebody on the other side of this camera. This is what I'm doing. This is my normal. So I really don't feel like there's a big drastic unnormal and normal. This is just the hand that you were dealt. This is the hand that I was dealt, and I'm making the best of it. This is just something that is a part of our lives that we deal with, that I very much find it as a blessing. You know, we have this unique perspective of the world having a mental illness. Some of it isn't always great. Some of it is dark, but a lot of it can be light too. There's light and dark happening at the same time. In your life, when you're focusing on negativity, there's also a lot of positivity that you're just not looking at. It's not that it's not there. You're just choosing not to see it. We all like to think that we're going through something, so it must be special, right? Or it must be unique, or, you know, no one else understands what we're feeling. And we couldn't be more wrong. There's so many people that are going through what we're going through, and there's so many resources that could help us, that it just goes against that whole mentality of you're unique or your problems are unique, right? There's so many people going through so many things that we have resources, we have foundations. Look at me. I'm right here telling you, you're not the only one that's going through what you're going through, right? So there's people out here doing it. So it is normal. It's not unnormal. You know what I mean? I would challenge you to start thinking that too. Think about your life as just being normal, because it's your life. It is what it is, right? And it ain't when it ain't.
When you're in an auto accident, you shouldn't be concerned with legal runarounds, just real advice. You deserve an attorney ready to work for you, an attorney that won't back down.
I've lost loved ones due to the negligence of others. If you or a loved one has been injured in an auto accident, I want to be there for you.
Raul B. Rodriguez and his team care about ensuring you and your family are represented, whether on the road or in the workplace. Raul is real, and Raul won't back down. Call 210-899-0300 to schedule a free consultation.
Guys, thanks so much for those mental health questions. I had a lot that you guys sent me. I always feel honored to answer questions like that, because I feel like those questions aren't questions that people feel comfortable asking in person. So over social media, or over a text, or over an email, whatever, I feel like it's a lot more open. I feel like it's people that are sending me questions that really need that question answered. So I love answering those questions and helping out however I can. Let's go into a little bit of a different change here. It's almost Halloween this weekend coming up. Let's go into some Halloween quick fire questions. First question, which horror movie actually scared you? The first horror movie that actually scared you. For me, hands down, The Shining, one of my favorite scary movies of all time, but it was very much the first one that I just didn't see it coming. And I think if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a scene where he goes into this haunted room in the hotel. I just didn't expect it. I think I was maybe 11, 12, 13, around that period, and it just threw me for a loop. I was not ready for what I saw. Nightmares all week, and it must have been summertime, right? It wasn't even Halloween time or anything like that, but nightmares for weeks just because of what I saw there. But it turns out I love that movie now. Seeing it, it has a sense of nostalgia for me, so I love that movie. That was the first one that ever scared me, and a little bit of, an insider tip, I love being scared. I love scary movies. It's my genre, and The Shining's up there. What's a real life fear of mine that scares me more than any horror movie? For me, a real life fear, I'm scared to death of, is bees. That's my weakness. That's my bugaboo right there. That's just one of those things that I don't mess with. If I see a bee over here, I'm 5 miles that way. To be honest with you, anything that flies, I feel has an upper hand on me because I can't, right? So I just feel like if it flies, a fly, a bird, bees, whatever, it's just up here on me. It's already got a level that I can't reach, so I'm not messing with it. Let alone it has a freaking stinger, it has a knife on it. You know what I mean? So, nah, I just don't mess with bees. If Halloween had a smell, what would the smell be? Creative question. I love it. In my mind, Halloween, you see blood, movies, horror movies, and all this stuff, and sweat. People are running away from the monster. They're running away from Michael Myers. They're running away from somebody, right? Sweaty, whatever. It smells like a boxing gym. There's blood, there's sweat, there's heartbeat, there's high elevated heartbeats and all this stuff. I just feel like it smells like a boxing gym to me, right? Like iron, like blood, like Vaseline, sweat, hard work. I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to survive. That's boxing, no? Would you spend the night in a haunted hotel for $10,000? I'll spend the night in a haunted hotel for $100. I really love all elements of that. To be able to come in contact with the paranormal, to be able to do all that stuff, that's right up my alley. I love doing that stuff. I don't need $10,000. Give me $100 and a Milky Way, and I got you. The next question: do you believe in spirits? No, just because I want to, and there's people that have passed that I want to get in contact with, or that I have friends that I would love if I could speak to them somehow, or if they were around me, and I haven't felt anything. So for me, like, I believe in energy, but I can't say like a conscious spirit, like somebody who's coming and consciously contacting me or whatever. I can't believe in that. I just don't, because I felt like I would have experienced it by now. But I do believe in energy. I know that you can walk into something or walk into a room, and if a person has passed or someone who you know or whatever, and you just feel that person, you know what I mean? I do have that. I do believe in that. Good energy, right? It just reminds you of, somebody who passed or whatever. But I haven't seen anything paranormal. I haven't seen ghosts. I haven't seen anything like that. And I definitely put myself in those situations to be open to that, and it hasn't happened. So for me, based off firsthand experience, I just haven't I can't believe in spirits right now. You think of a Halloween question. What's one?
Favorite bad horror movie?
Okay. I got one. What is your favorite bad horror movie? Good question. For me, I have this one horror movie that's stuck in my brain that I saw when I was a freshman in high school. It's called Cry Wolf. And Cry Wolf is a movie that takes place in... Look it up if you haven't seen it. Watch it if you haven't seen it. It's not horrible, but it's definitely just kind of... this went nowhere type of movie. I've been thinking about that movie since I saw it in theaters. You might like it. Who knows? That's my perspective, right? Nothing bad, but Cry Wolf, definitely. Last question of the Halloween rapid fire questions. What's the candy that you steal from your kid in their Halloween bag at the end of the night, right? I don't really have to steal these because they don't like them anyway. I'm a Twizzlers guy. I am all Twizzlers. It's low calorie. It's good for you. Like for me, it's good for me. But I'm not much of a chocolate guy. I really don't like chocolate all that much. I love sour candy, but Twizzlers. When you have those little Twizzlers that they put in there, those are mine. I'm the one that's gonna suck them down. That's my candy of choice. If you got our mailing address, you know where to send your Twizzlers at. Guys, thank you so much for the response that you did to our first question and answer segment here on the podcast. And thank you so much for coming this far into this podcast, listening to the Q&As that were provided. And as always, if you got something from this podcast that you think could help you or help someone around you, please feel free to share. Please like, comment, subscribe. We love a good comment in our comment section. Even on social media, follow us, the Leija Lounge on Instagram. And if you want to follow me personally, Instagram at Rumbleboy, I'll put it right here for you. Facebook, James Leija II. Ask me a question or leave a comment of something that you saw here. If you have a different perspective, if you have a question for next time, maybe we'll do a part 3 Q&A. Feel free to reach out to us. We're here, right? This weekend, guys, please be safe. It's Halloween. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but I'm doing it all. So go for it. Have fun. This is the day that you get to be whoever you want to be. So go for it. Enjoy y'all's Halloween holiday, and we'll see you on the next Leija Lounge episode.